If you are thinking about leaving the home you've lived in for decades, here are 5 things that nobody told you about. Not the real estate things, the human things, the ones that catch people off guard emotionally, practically, and in your relationships. I've guided a lot of people through this transition, and I'm also living in the same season. I'm asking some of these same questions myself. So when I tell you I get it, I do. So let's get into it. I'm Lori Morrow. I'm a senior real estate specialist serving Westchester and Fairfield counties. I help homeowners 60 and over navigate their next chapter calmly, thoughtfully, and with real clarity. Leave me a comment below or ask me a question. Tell me what part of leaving your home feels the hardest. I read all of them and stick around to the end for the thing that nobody tells you. It's the one thing I tell every client. I think it's going to land. Here's the first thing nobody warned you about. This is going to bring up feelings that you did not expect. Not because you're making the wrong decision, but because you've built something real in this house, a life, decades of it. The house holds your identity. We are the family who lives on Clove Road. It holds continuity, the one place that stayed the same when everything else kept changing. It holds your chapter, often the longest one. And I will tell you, this is not just a real estate transaction, it's a life transition. And it comes with some sadness that's allowed. And in my experience, the people who give themselves permission to feel it actually move through it faster than the people who try to push past it. I've been doing this long enough to have sat with a lot of people in this exact moment, right on the edge of this decision that's so big. And I want you to know, being sad about leaving does not mean you should stay. It means that you have loved where you lived, and that is something to be proud of. The second thing that nobody warned you about, you and your partner may not be in the same place. And that gap, even a small one, creates tension. I see this constantly. One person is mentally ready for 2 years, and the other is still processing whether this is actually happening. Neither of them is wrong. They are just in different places on the same road. What I have learned, and this took years to understand, is you cannot talk someone into this. You can share information, you can open doors, but the decision has to come from within. So when I'm out looking at properties with a couple where one person is less committed, I pay very close attention. I'm watching both of them. I'm watching what lights one of them up, what makes the other go quiet. The comment someone makes under their breath in the kitchen, or the way they linger in one room and rush through another. Those reactions are not just reactions, they are information. They tell me exactly what each person is looking for, what they need, sometimes more clearly than words do. And sometimes, honestly, and this is one of my favorite parts of this work, I am the one in the room who holds the thread. Because anxiety makes people want to settle. And adult children sometimes show up with strong opinions about what their parents should do. And suddenly a couple that came in with a very clear list of what they needed is standing in a place that does not meet a single one of those things. And they're talking themselves into it anyway. And that's generally when I step in. My job is to keep them anchored to what they really actually want, not what feels like the easiest choice in the moment. Sometimes we have to look at a broad range of options for them to narrow down and see what really does work for them. I may know what's going to work for them best, but they haven't figured that out completely because they have different ideas. So we shop around. We see a lot of different properties. I recently worked with 2 different couples in this exact situation. One partner ready, one not quite there yet. We did not force anything. We looked at properties together and I watched carefully. What created hesitation, what they said out loud, and what their body language said instead. In both cases, the turning point was not a conversation that I had with them. It was the property they walked into. Something clicked. The right place is more persuasive than anything I could ever say. My job is to get them there. Sometimes the thing that moves a someday conversation to the right decision is a health scare. I want to talk about that directly because I see it often and it comes with its own layer of emotion. Recently, I worked with a client who had a health scare, and that made her look at her home very differently. Just overnight. The stairs, the layout, the things she had never noticed before because she never needed to. There was something else driving her too. She had looked at everything in that house, decades of accumulated life, and she thought, if something happens to me, my husband cannot do this alone, and I do not want this to fall on my daughters. That's not fear talking, that is love talking, and it is one of the most powerful motivators I see. The decision to move, when it is made from a place of agency, even when it was a health scare, is a gift. You are choosing your next chapter on your terms before the circumstances choose it for you. And this is something I bring up with almost every client, regardless of where they are in their health right now. Parking, easy access in and out, walk-in showers, one-floor living. You may not need any of it today, but what does life look like in 15 years? And here's thing number 4, and it stops most people more than almost anything else, the stuff. Not because people do not know they have to deal with it, but because the stuff is not just stuff. It's the china from their wedding, it's the furniture that came from their parents, the collections, the memorabilia, the things that hold their story. And one of the biggest fears I hear, I don't want it to end up in a landfill. I don't want it at the Salvation Army. Well, here's what I want you to know. First, family gets to choose. Ask before you assume. You will be surprised. Things you thought nobody wanted, someone has been hoping for years. And things you thought would cause a bidding war, nobody wants in their house. So have the conversation first with your family. Second, there are professionals who come in and assess what you have, price it fairly, and sell it to people who actually want it. Your things go to someone who chose them, not to a dumpster. And then there's furniture banks, local charities, consignment shops, and specialty dealers. When you're the one making the decisions and the choices, not the circumstances, it changes the whole emotional experience of cleaning out a home. You're not losing your things, you are placing them. And the 5th thing nobody warned you about is how good the other side could feel. I know that sounds like something a realtor is supposed to say, but I mean it. I have watched it happen too many times to think it's a coincidence. Somebody leaves a home they love deeply. The process is hard. There are real moments of grief and sadness. And then, sometimes faster than they expected, something shifts. They feel lighter. The weekends are theirs again. The mental weight of too many rooms, too much maintenance, and too much stuff is all gone. And they look back at the old house with love, not longing. Because the memories do not live in the walls. They live in you. I'm Lori Morrow, a senior real estate specialist serving Westchester and Fairfield counties. I guide homeowners 60 and over while they navigate their next chapter calmly, thoughtfully, and with real clarity. And if anything in this video gave you that, I would love to connect. Let's recap. The 5 things nobody warned you about leaving your family home. The grief is real and it's allowed. You and your partner may not be equally ready, and that takes time, but let's start anyways. The health scare can actually be the gift of clarity and agency. The stuff does not have to go into a landfill, you get to choose, and what comes next can really surprise you. Before I sign off, the thing that nobody tells you. Before you close on your home, do the final walkthrough. Not to check things off a list, but just to be in it one more time. Go in every room, stand at the window you always looked out, sit in your favorite spot, and say thank you if that feels right. It gives the chapter a proper ending. Please reach out. My contact information is right below. Sometimes the first conversation is less about real estate and more about just talking it through. I am completely here for that. And one more thing, I mail a magazine a few times a year called Retiring Well. It gets mailed directly to you. No ads, just genuinely good content for this chapter of life. Travel, art, home design, trends, and things worth exploring. If you would like to be on that list, comment the word magazine below and I'll reach out to get you on the list. It's my way of staying connected and making sure this community has good things to look forward to. As always, hit subscribe, ring the bell. New videos come out every week. See you next week.